But then let me do one small attempt to barge into his cabin and understand what's wrong. Everybody needs to have that guts to, speak out. Imagine if somebody like you had kind of come across your life, would you reach to this level where you are today?
So team, welcome to yet another fantastic episode of REVV UP with ARPRO. And today we have a very special guest. As usual, every week we have a fantastic new guest sharing his experience from the auto industry. In fact, like all of us know, ARPRO is the world's largest network of professionals from the auto industry. And REVV UP is an initiative from ARPRO to bring about some positivity in the auto industry. We bring you people, the veterans from the auto industry in front of you, who would share their life experiences through this program. And not only that, at the end of the program, you can also ask your questions. So team, let's welcome Rangacharyulu. Off to you, Pro Rangacharyulu. Welcome to REVV UP with ARPRO. Kindly give a quick introduction about yourself.
Thank you so much, Shrikant. First of all, welcome on board all the professionals from automotive industry for this webcast. I am indeed honored and delighted to be part of this large association, and thanks to Shrikant for selecting me to be the guest for today. Well, as you all know, I am Rangacharyulu. So I did my master's in automotive business management from a university called ICFI, followed by an executive leadership program from IIM Kolkata, Indian Institute of Management. And I also did a program from Indian School Business Hyderabad called Value Creating Financials. So in a nutshell, I have myself to be an automobile industry professional. So I had a very humble beginning in the automotive industry, and I had grown gradually over the last 20 years to the position what I am today in, that is CEO for Audi Hyderabad. I have worked for over a decade between 2005 and 2014 in Middle East in a country called Oman for one of the largest business conglomerates, handling their corporate business for the brands like Toyota, MAN, Hino, Komatsu, Kobelco, Kato, XCMG, to name a few brands. There are a lot of other brands too, which I was representing on behalf of South Bhawan Group. So my major contribution is in the area of supplying vehicles to government organizations like Ministry of Defense, Royal Oman Police, apart from hundreds of private fleet customers. So as you see, defense requires a specialized vehicle. So we used to do a lot of fabrication of these vehicles, whether it's trucks or cars, and then we supply to suit their needs. So in 2014 is when I moved back to India and joined one of the largest Toyota distributors in Hyderabad and AP. So we were managing 7 Toyota dealerships spread in AP and Telangana. So I later in 2016 moved to luxury brand called Audi. As you all know, it's one of the German trees. So I have got the fortune to handle Audi in 3 or 4 different states. Started with Tamil Nadu in Chennai, then I moved to Pune in Maharashtra, and then I'm back to Hyderabad handling Telangana and AP as a CEO for Audi business. So I must convey here, I had always chosen the jobs where there is a challenging situation and had added very significant value during all my tenures with these organizations. I am proud to say that in each of these companies I have mentioned, my achievements remain unbroken till date. So for example, with Toyota, I had doubled the sales volume as a head of sales, as a vice president head of sales in Toyota in AP and Telangana. I doubled the sales in 3 months from the time I have joined. A lot of people or members in ARPRO, they all can vouch for this. In Audi Chennai, we have been the best in the country in 2016, and we also have managed best profitability in the dealer network. In Audi Pune, we could take the average sales from 10 cars to 40 cars per month. So that's the kind of contribution in Audi Pune. And now in Audi Hyderabad, I have been working here for 1 year since 2019 March. We have already been awarded the best partner in the network in the year 2019. So this is all about me, friends. I think most of you know me, and I'm really fortunate to be here introducing myself. That's it from me, Shrikant, about myself.
Thank you, Pro. The kind of journey you've had, you started off with India and then moved up to Middle East and then came back to India. And in
Yeah,
India, you had a great experience working with a brand like Toyota, and
yeah,
from there moving on to Audi. So I
yeah,
think major part of your time after coming back to India has been spent with Toyota and Audi.
correct.
So,
Exactly.
how has been an experience after coming back to India compared to
So, see, India is a very, very dynamic market where we have a lot of, variation in compared to when compared to Middle East. India has got, 1.3 billion population, whereas Middle East has got very, very low population. So the demand for the cars is very high when compared to Middle East. At the same time, the competition also is very intense in India. So we have a lot of talent in the country is what I see. As a head of the sales, I realized that there are a lot of auto professionals who have got the talent, who have got the passion for the job.
So basically, there is a vast difference between Middle East and in India. So especially in the people. The people in India are more talented. The people in India have more passion for cars, and there have been a lot of excitement when I came back to India because we have got vast spread, brands and also the geographical advantage in India. So I have seen the dealerships having flourishing business in India when compared to Middle East with the people who have got a lot of excitement and with the customers who have been aspirational for the cars. Shrikant.
okay, that's fantastic. In fact, you know, in fact, many of us have been facing this big challenge right now because of the COVID pandemic.
Yeah.
That can be in terms of employment, that can be in terms of dealership, numbers, profitability, all these factors today. These are all important factors today, and we are all facing big challenges in this. But probably this is not the first time. In fact, with the kind of experience that you have, and this is something like a part of life, is what I feel. I'm sure you have faced bigger challenges or similar challenges earlier, though not COVID, but there will be some challenges that you have faced in the auto industry in the previously also. Can you share one of those challenges which you have faced earlier, and how was it?
Shrikant, I strongly believe that every challenge will present an opportunity, like how every lock is made along with its key. So I remember the recession hit in 2008 when I was in the Middle East in a middle management level, wherein many expatriates have abandoned their cars, left their cars in the airports, and repatriated back to their countries. So they all include Indians, Egyptians, Pakistanis, Philippines, a lot of nationalities. They all have lost their jobs, and then they have been not able to pay the EMIs they have left. The banks had indeed tough time recovering these cars and auctioning to recover their loans, making it tough for any car buyer to get the loans granted for almost for a year later to this recession also. So many customers have started postponing their purchase plans, and they were not even willing to give a kind of appointments to the teams. So coming to how we handled this situation with the teams, so we had maintained relationships with the existing customers and get more agile and adaptable. We are not rigid in our approach. We tried customizing the schemes, customizing the proposals to the customers to suit their current situation. And we started cutting down on all the frills, and we went frugal, minimizing all our costs to run the operations. And we started focusing only on the critical aspects which will have direct impact on the revenues. We also started working more closely by taking measures to improve throughput in after sales from the existing car park, thereby generating more revenues through value-added services, and reworked on reducing the cost of ownership to the customers, which is kind of appreciated by all the customers. We didn't touch the manpower, as we know that was a temporary phase. So by taking these measures, we didn't get immediate business or response, but the team was able to win the goodwill and confidence from all their customers. Needless to mention, with this approach, the moment the customers have started to do well with their businesses and banks got a little more confidence, we were the first people to be contacted by all our customers to fulfill their purchase needs. Here, I would like to say that current situation of COVID is even worse than what we have seen as recession in 2008, which is disabling the thought of customers connect As no meetings are getting fixed, people are conscious and afraid to give appointments for the sales teams to meet also. So I prefer doing the similar customer connect through virtual meeting, like how we are having a webinar. We are not stopping our projects because of this COVID. And expressively, we have to be expressively be concerned of customer safety. If they are coming to a showroom, if they are giving appointment, if they are contacting us through virtual mediums, I think we should maintain the relationship intact. And another 6 months down the line, probably we will be out of this COVID, and we have a beautiful world ahead of us, waiting for us. So I think customer connect is the key, Shrikant.
Yes, customer connect is of course one of the most key elements.
Every one of us should believe that this is a temporary phenomena and believe in this too shall pass. So we don't have to worry much about it. Just sail through the situation. We have a beautiful world waiting for us.
Fantastic. In fact, customer engagement has been one of the most important factors for any business. Yeah. Today, when we have this kind of challenge that the customer is not probably comfortable coming into a dealership, what are the kind of methods that we can follow, probably digitally, like you said, to bring them back to our showrooms, or at least get the business going without.
So generally, for a customer to make a buying decision, he need to at least meet the consultant 4 to 5 times. So probably once it is to see the car, drive the car, then there could be a comparison, then there is a negotiation, and then there is a delivery. So I think these are all inevitable. Okay, for a customer to avoid it is impossible. But what I feel is, before the first meeting happens in the showroom, the consultant has to connect with the customer on phone at least for 5 to 6 times, seeking his time and calling him to the showroom. So all these things can be done over a phone with much more, in an advanced manner, by connecting through Zoom call, by connecting virtually through Google Geo kind of, or Skype kind of mediums, and then give him that assurance that we are following all the protocols announced by the government in the showroom. Our showrooms, the cars are sanitized, all the equipment in the showroom, and we follow the necessary precautions to be safe and also to make our customers feel safe and be safe. So I think that assurance over 3 to 4 telephone conversations, if we are able to establish, and we all have the videos where we are showing the sanitization process being done and all, the customer will obviously get confidence, and then he will visit, and makes it more simpler and easier to get through the transaction, Shrikant.
Great. In fact, being in this auto industry for such a long time, and working with several brands in different markets, I'm sure you have had your own share of fantastic customer experiences, good or not so good. So it would be great if you could share some of your experiences, the bad ones.
I'll share one bad one to give the, I get goosebumps whenever you say about customer experience. I remember one very, very, bitter experience that I had in my early sales career. So while there have been a lot of positive experiences, I've been able to secure 250 trucks in one purchase order, and I've been able to get 2,000 Toyota cars in Middle East from one of the oil and gas company. And in India also, I have got a company who bought 2,000 Toyota cars, and especially in Audi, there are almost every deal is a breakthrough kind of a situation. So while all these are having some strategic involvement, I would like to bring in front of the audience about one bitter experience that I had in my early career, that is in 2008. I think we are talking about recession, so this also is an experience that I had in during the tough times, one of the tough times, in 2008. So there was a customer by name Mr. Shetty. He owns a company called Multitech Contracting. So basically, I have been following up with this customer for more than a year, to understand if there is any requirement, that I will be the first person to be contacted by them. So after a year, I did not get any, kind of requirement from them. But then once I was just, in my office, I got a call from their finance head. saying that, Ranga, you lost an order of 7 cars. Shetty has decided to give it to Ford. Are you aware of this? I said, I was blown away. What the nonsense is this? I did not even have a clue. I've been visiting your office every day. But with that kind of connect, what the finance head has with me, he thought of informing me that there is a, orders for 7 cars, which is slipped off to Ford. So then I immediately went off, tried calling Mr. Shetty, who's the MD of that company. And he said, I wanted appointment. He said, Ranga, it's your need. You don't ask my time. If you come here, if I have time, I'll meet you. Otherwise, you may just, wait for my appointment. I cannot give you time. So I don't know what's wrong with him. He's been like that always. He never has been open, to discuss. So I had two options. One, my wife's, appointment with the doctor, because she was, pregnant at the time, and which was of, utmost importance to me to handle that. And suddenly this came, and I don't want to lose this order at any cost. So then I went ahead, to clinic first to finish off the, appointment. And then I headed to this company. It's around 6 o'clock in the evening. So I waited for a couple of hours. Shetty did not call me inside his cabin. Okay, then I thought, okay, I lost. But then let me do one small attempt to barge into his cabin and understand what's wrong. Okay, everybody needs to have that guts to, speak out as to what is that reason to lose an order. Because I had a lot of pain, because it's hard work that I had put into this transaction to be, developing this relationship for 1 year, which never got developed. So as I went in, he got really shocked. Hey, how come this guy has so many guts to come into my cabin without even, my permission? So then I said, Mr. Shetty, like how you have grown in your business from scratch, we also represent a good brand, a luxury. It means a kind of a international reputed brand. And it's really feeling like an insult that I've been visiting your office every day, and then you have kind of neglected and ignored all the time. So today I want to know what's the reason for me to be not contacted and the order being given to Ford. Can I know this reason? He said, I don't have to tell the reason, Ranga. We just went ahead. We wanted this for our employees. We bought these cars. And then I don't have to give explanation. Then it's even, kind of putting me in stress. So I said, Mr. Shetty, when you came into Middle East, you had a small shop. Half of it is shared with your family and half of it to run your, mechanic shop. He was repairing air conditioning. That's what I understood from his employees about his background. So imagine if somebody like you had kind of come across your life, would you reach to this level where you are today? Why so much of negligence for the kind of effort that I've been putting in this account? Why not you give me that time, and at least let me understand why I lost this order. So then I have gone through the discussion with him, very, very emotional. It went on till 10:30, 11 o'clock. And, finally he said, Ranga, there is nothing wrong with you. I think you kind of have gone into much detail. Who told all these details about me? And I said, sir, I study my customer precisely 360 degree when I attempt to get business from them. And this is nothing new to me. I generally follow the entire history and track record of how you reached here. It's a 30 million, real company by then. It's a journey of him for about 20 years. So then, he had developed some amount of emotional connect, and he said, Ranga, okay, fine. I think I have not contacted. It's a mistake. Let's do one thing. Let's start the relationships now. And then he gave a purchase order for 6 cars without even putting the price on it. He said, okay, you supply this model at whatever best price that you can, and then I'm going with Toyota. I will talk to Ford separately, and we'll see how we can, together start this journey. So this is one of the best experiences that I had, means having lost the order, going gutful about finding the reasons and securing back the order which is lost, is one such good experience. Whenever I share with anybody, I get goosebumps about this, Shrikant. Even today, I share with all my sales teams this experience. You should not just like that lose an order. If you lose an order, you should know so that you don't do that mistake again.
That's fantastic. In fact, this is something really true. Many of us which we miss out. Before approaching any customer, it's something very important that we understand the background of the customer, try to bring a common contact if you have. That would be something really fantastic. Many times we miss out on that.
Yes.
once a customer walks into a dealership, or even we are going to meet a customer after an appointment is received, it is something really important that we understand a bit about him prior to visiting him. That can be from anywhere. Today, it's more easier in technology coming in place. Probably you can search his name on Google. You can get his Facebook account. You can get his LinkedIn account. You know what's his background.
Yeah.
Many of us have been doing that, but to those who have not been doing, really important. It's always great to have a connect with the customer even before meeting him. So when you know about him, when you know about his choices, today, in fact, you go to a Facebook account of a customer also, you may already find this person. So you may already find that this person already has, some liking, or these are his recent cars. So these are all the kind of, information that you get before to the customer. So that makes your work much easier, isn't it, Pro Ranga?
Yes, yes, Shrikant.
Great. Most inspirational moment in your career for you today, till date?
Yeah. Most inspirational moment. Yeah, I have a lot of moments where I got inspired and where I have been able to inspire my teams. So it is said that train's speed is as much as its engine's speed. The same is true when all the compartments are on track and when some of them are not on track also. The whole train speed will slow down. So I'm just remembering one incident which happened in Chennai. Okay, there was one sales manager who was kind of going off track. So it was on 17th April 2016. It was a Sunday. 2017. It was a Sunday. So generally, only one team works on Sunday with about one manager plus three consultants in the showroom. So that was a
Okay.
very, very busy day where, about five customers were walking into the showroom simultaneously. And the team was getting very, very busy attending to these customers. And sometimes there was a customer, who's left over for more than 10, 15 minutes, which is not generally the practice in Audi showroom. So it was it was very, very busy day. And at the end, I think we all got delayed for lunch. So I had, called the team manager who was not present on the day, but only the three team members were present. So at around 3 o'clock, when we all did not even have our lunch, I just felt pity for the team that how come these guys are working without their manager, who was supposed to be also there. So then I made a call to this gentleman. I don't want to tell the name. He is now in New Zealand. He's working for some automobile company there. So this sales manager I called. He said, "Sir, there is nothing wrong. Sunday is a day that I get rest. And then even if there are walk-ins, there's no booking is going to come on that particular day, on the same day rather. We can follow up very much tomorrow, day after tomorrow, and get them." So which I felt wrong from his side, because it's only one Sunday that each team has to work, and when his team is working, I felt that he should also be, working. And the very pessimistic approach that nobody is going to give the order was absolutely not accepted by me. So then I said to him, "Look, I will ensure by tomorrow morning meeting we will get all the bookings from these customers whoever have visited our showroom." And your team and me, will not be present in the showroom conference room tomorrow unless we get all the bookings from these four walk-ins that have happened so far. So it was a spontaneous reaction of me, and then I felt, okay, fine, let's try out, because I felt all of them are very worthy prospects and hot prospects rather. It was the month of April, so it's a good month also. So 5:30 we closed the showroom with the three-member team. We all went out to the field, and we have all the addresses of these customers. Went one after one. Okay, the first customer took almost 3 hours to give the booking. Okay, and finally when he got convinced about the car, when he was ready to give the booking, he said, "Ranga, check is in office. I cannot give you the booking now, but I can sign the contract. But I know tomorrow morning if I have to present myself, just booking contract does not give confidence to the team. I should have the check as well." Okay, so then I was just thinking what to do now. Just then his son entered into the home from gym. So I said, "Okay, did you try this car?" He said, "No, I didn't drive the car yet. So let's go for a drive." So he said, "Yeah, well, let's go for it. Uncle, then let's go to office for drive. We can take the check also." Then he came. to office along with his son for a drive, and we took the check. Started off our first booking of the 4 bookings that we had to take on that day, and rest of the meetings were just getting aligned. Then the last meeting happened around 2 o'clock. And one good couple in Chennai, working for an IT company, they just returned from US. I barged into their home at 12 o'clock, telling that either we will take the booking from you today, or we'll rob your house and leave. So with that kind of connect with the customers, we finished all the 4 bookings. Next day morning, we had gone to the meeting with all the 4 bookings in place. And of course, the sales manager also has joined towards 3rd or 4th meeting the previous day. I feel I have been able to inspire him by this, grit that I will have to take all the bookings of that walk-in, that particular walk-in day, and then being able to succeed in that mission. I've been able to inspire, and later on, this guy went on to become the best sales manager in the company. In one of the months where our average used to be 50, because of him it went up to 70. He did all-time high of 37 invoices that particular month, which is still a record. So from nowhere to a place where we could inspire this guy and get him on board, with the great contribution to the organization. I think this is one of the best inspirational movement, and a lot of inspirational moments from my superiors. So I had been mentored by Mr. Gautam Datta, who is the director for South Bohan Group. I worked with him for a decade. He is a walking and talking management guru. So learned a lot from him, and the way he empathetically handles the employees' concerns is beautiful. And also one of the gentlemen in India also, when I was with Jubilant, Mr. Suresh. So very energetic leader. He comes at 9:30 to office. He leaves at home even at midnight, 12:30, 1 o'clock with the same energy, with the same enthusiasm. I think with these kind of people being exuberantly energetic, I have been able to get inspired, from day to day, and I've been able to inspire many of my team members, taking inspiration from these leaders. Shrikant.
Fantastic. So one important thing is, again, probably connecting it back to the previous experience as well. When you have a relationship with the customer, the kind of relationship that you build with the customer, that decides, the kind of trust the customer has on you. And probably that is what worked for you in this case which you were discussing previously. So the kind of relationship you had, you could even, getting into a customer's place at 12 at midnight and probably talking to him is not an easy task unless you have that kind of relationship with the customer. So team, one very important factor is, of course, that each customer that you meet, the first and foremost important thing is, of course, building the relationship with him. Today, with the kind of present situation that we have, it may not be an easy task to spend time with him in person. So in that case, probably this is something that can be switched to the telephone mode before even meeting the customer. What do you say?
Yes, Pro. So these customers have got absolute intent to buy the car, because the first meeting I could sense that they're all clear about their purchase plan and their choice of product also. It is just that negotiation, it is just that final clarifications that I had to give. So when I am talking to one customer on that 4 customers in sequence, we have been continuously in touch with the other 3, aligning them. If it is getting delayed by half an hour, we are informing him. And we told the mission also that we want to at any cost take this deals through today. And they were also excited. How come they're so they're so passionate guys I'm dealing with? And I remember that couple at midnight, 12 o'clock, they have been able to offer tea, and the wife and husband both were sitting and watching movie waiting for us. And they warmly welcomed with a wide smile. I went saying that either I will rob your home or I'll take a Q3 booking today. Choose, the option is yours. One of the option is what you can choose. So they welcomed, and finally we could take out that booking from them. So apparently, why I remember this particular day, that was my wedding anniversary. 17th April was my wedding anniversary, and I thought, okay, spontaneously I committed something. I wanted to execute that mission to its 100% perfection. And thanks to all those customers, thanks to those team members, including the sales manager, who have believed that this can be made possible. So that's where the inspiration comes into play. That's where the confidence comes into play. So each and every leader, if works like this with their team, and we're able to exhibit themselves as an example rather than pushing the team into the field and waiting for them to succeed or fail. It's important that we work as a team player and then get them to experience how it happens on the ground.
That's fantastic. In fact, I'm sure you would have had your share of bad experiences as well. So, can you recall one of those bad experiences wherein you had some complaint from the customer or probably some major issue and which was solved to customer satisfaction during your tenure of this?
Yeah. So the many. I remember one such incident. This again in one of my journey with Audi, one of my assignments with Audi. So there was one product which costs about 1 crore of rupees. So very very passionate buyer and absolutely loyal to the brand, and it is his fourth Audi. Okay. So he has a lot of long distance travels. Unlike other customers, he kind of travels almost a year 30,000 kilometers. So he had some amount of bitter experience with the second row seat where he sits. Okay, there's some unusual, very very mild noise that was coming from in that sitting position. So my after sales could not fix it because they could not find it. It is very very negligible kind of a sound, and only it comes at a particular speed once you cross 100 kilometers per hour speed sort of. So then he was coming back and he came finally to sell the car and he says, Ranga, I want to change the car now. I don't want to, have, maybe it's only my perception, but then I want to change the car. So one last time, let's go for a drive, sir. We will understand what it is. If I cannot understand now, then I'll execute your thought of selling this car and buying a new car. Even then he's coming for Audi again. Huh? So then I went for a drive. Then I went for a drive with him. And I realized the disturbance was very minimal and negligible also, but then it is causing trouble to him because he kind of imbibed that that as a discomfort for him. So finally, what we did, we just went back to after sales, and then we contacted the OEM. But then they say it's not found as a problem. It's a product design. So then I had to change the rear seat for this car. Okay, by kind of taking it as a project, we changed the seat at the rear without affecting the wiring, without affecting any other design elements of the car, and then we gave him back. Of course, we preserved the old seat and we have put the new seat. If he comes back, we can actually give him back as it is, as he gave the car, and we can also sell it off. So took a risk. Then finally, when he got this captain seat behind, and he was very, very happy. He said, grateful to you, Ranga. I think you have done a fantastic job in terms of setting this problem. Though it is a very minimal, nobody was able to identify it as a problem. You are able to be on my side and then fix it. So kind of retaining these kind of customers is key for our business. I had two options at the time. When after sales and brand is saying it's a design, sure, we can leave it off as it is, or we can actually take back the car and then give a new car. Either way, business is coming, but then winning the confidence of customer is the key for making him a brand fan for his lifetime. And that's what I could execute with the support of customer, with the support of after sales team then. And then we were able to get him back. He bought almost 4 crores worth of cars from us after this experience is given to him. So that was a kind of puzzle in the beginning, but as we travel through the discussions, we connect the dots and then we'll find a solution, isn't it? So that's how we could fix it. And this many, but then time constraint, I will share this experience. Shrikant.
Yeah, that's fantastic. In fact, as sales people, probably a lot of us have to give in to customers, but it has always, of course, been keeping in mind customers' even smallest requirements as one of the most important factor will always give us that edge over the competition.
Yeah,
isn't it? Great.
Yes.
So now that was really fantastic to know your experience. Now let us move further to the kind of topic that you were actually interested in talking about.
Yeah.
The digital transformation. So now with the kind of pandemic effect going on across the globe, what do you think the kind of digital transformation that most of the dealerships, like all of us, would see in this?
Yeah, this is a very close to the heart kind of a subject for me, Shrikant. Thanks for touching upon this aspect. So, COVID has brought in revolutionary change in the way the businesses are conducted. People are very conscious about social distancing. Normally, for a sale to happen, there has to be at least 4 to 8 physical meetings between sales team and the customers, as I described to you some time back. The conventional approach may slowly get faded off and may get replaced with augmented virtual reality and virtual meetings, which will become the new normal. Almost all the brands today are giving utmost importance for digital campaigns for lead generation. I see a potential opportunity to increase this space further, and accordingly, the percentage of conversion also will see an increasing trend. The key role is certainly of technology here, and digital mediums for both lead generation and customer interactions will take the prominent position. The companies should also create more interactive websites with built-in chatbots, virtual consultations, needs analysis online to suggest right variant within the model that customer is interested in, etc. Autonomous driving is becoming, very popular. Already, Audi kind of brands have already, experimented and then successfully in autonomous pilot-driven cars and roadside assistance through connect features. Like if you see, there was a revolutionary change Kia brought in with the connect feature. Just one press of a button, the whereabouts of the car, the condition of the occupants can be sensed. And the concierge services, like understanding the points of interest of customers and facilitating the customers through the concierge and connect services, are going to become the basic features with automobiles today. Sales discussion will no more be pure sales guy giving a sales pitch, which has been happening till date. There should be more tech savvy sales experts now. So the people, especially the young generation, should just not nurture their selling skills, but they also have to develop the technocratic skills in them, who would be precisely pitching the product and just not negotiation idea within the stipulated time. There is also time-bound meetings that we will have. Once it is digital meeting, once it is virtual meeting, there is a start time and there is a end time. The sales consultants have to be precise in what they have to communicate, what they have to extract from customer, and what sort of outcome they are expecting from that particular meeting. So we therefore need techno sales consultants going forward, and we therefore need the customer touch points to be more experience centric, and we therefore should not look at only physical meetings. We should be able to offer all the facilities what we have today being offered in the showroom, virtually also through augmented and virtual reality. And the consultants have to be leveling up themselves and their skills to meet this new normal, Shrikant.
Thank you. In fact, what are the kind of digital, transformation that you have implemented in your dealership, and have you faced anything them?
So we see Audi has always been advanced in terms of bringing technology, because the tagline itself says "Vorsprung durch Technik." So one is we have augmented virtual reality. Okay, Vorsprung durch Technik means advancement through technology. That's what is the brand tag for Audi. So basically, we have augmented reality and virtual reality almost a year back. Okay, and we have got every product module built into this application where the consultant can virtually demonstrate just using iPad. Suppose I'm sitting here, okay, on my table I can bring in an Audi model and then have a walk around of the car 360 degree and explain the interior features also to him, to the customer. Wow. Without having the car in his presence. This is one advancement that we have in Audi. And as a dealer, we have got almost 15 brands with us. Automotive group is a very large group. So we are kind of putting all brands together on one portal, and then we are trying to ascertain the needs of customer, and then suggest him the relevant model. Maybe we'll give him 3 shortlisted models, which gets closely marrying and matching to his needs, and then he can try the car rather than visiting multiple showrooms and then wasting his time and contacting multiple people. So we are kind of digitalizing everything around this selling and even after sales. We have the appointment system, we have the mobile workshop, we have kind of doorstep service to the customers. So everywhere we are kind of looking at digitalization or as prominent, changeover from the current scenario.
Okay. So that's some really fantastic to know, an app that can actually visualize a car on your desk. So
Yeah.
can this app be accessed directly by the customer, or they have to come to this app?
So this feature can be built into the website also, Shrikant. So right now we have this in one application which is held by the consultants in their iPads. But this can also be built into our website, which is in process by many brands. I think almost all the brands are looking at bringing in this augmented virtual reality into their websites, so that the customer sitting at home can experience the color, the interiors, the features, how it looks when I sit inside the car is a virtual reality. You just have, to wear the goggles and feel the car as if you're sitting in your chair, but then you are sitting inside the car. So this is possible, Shrikant.
That's fantastic. And do you or have you faced any challenges in implementing this?
So, yeah, before COVID, we had a challenge in bringing the customer to, experience this augmented reality. Where they were kind of, why not we see a car? Why should we, get into this kind of, demonstrating the car in iPad and all? We can see the car. But today, I think this is, the team has been able to overcome this, and people are able to welcome, this new normal, and then get the experience delivered at their laptop or in their mobile phone. So now I don't see any challenge. This is one from customer side, another one from the sales consultant side also. Even consultants also believe that conventional method is only successful. But today, because of COVID, they also started believing that no, I think we should get upgraded, we should get agile, we should get adaptable to the new situation. And then they are also trying to demonstrate this car and the features and the technologies through these virtual mediums using the augmented and virtual reality.
Okay, so that means, in fact, like they said, I read a newspaper report that day which says India has gone 10 years ahead in terms of digitalization
Yes.
post-COVID.
Invention, Srikanth. Necessity is the mother of invention. There's a saying. So it's very true.
So looking at the kind of positivity that way, if we look at, I think this is something really great. In fact, we should not be feeling low about it. In fact, we should be going positive about it, that we have had a big digital transformation and it's time all of us switch to digital. In
Yes.
fact, how many of us today, even in the auto industry, have a profile created? How many of us are connecting with our customers on digital modes? How many of us are comfortable using UPI payments? So each of these factors today makes a big difference in the auto industry.
Exactly. Exactly, Srikanth.
So now coming to something really important. Now, with all these things, what do you think are people in the industry? I would say the front end people, that could be the sales team or the service team. What do you think they should be doing immediately as the first few steps to ensure customer satisfaction in the present system?
So, as Warren Buffett says, only when the tide goes low do you see who is swimming naked. So, when the markets are buoyant, when there is an inherent demand in the market, the business will flow in automatically. Okay, but this is the time where the markets were non-buoyant, the customers were sitting at their home, not feeling the urgency of buying a car. So here we should be proactive. We should be more, means if customer has 0.1% interest, the rest of the 99.9% effort should be from the sales consultant side. So we should be, encouraging the customer to sit at his home and then still, pursue the car and buy the car. So for that, a lot of grit is required in the sales consultant. The first thing is the belief in consultant, the confidence in customer, in consultant, that yes, we can come over this situation. In spite of COVID being out there, we can confidently talk to a customer, do the process of buying, and then ensure that the sale happens. So he should be looking at virtual mediums, and maybe a lot of customers are not aware as to how we can use the virtual meeting applications in their phone. Starting from there, one has to educate and then get the customer, connect, hook onto the product through virtual media. You have WhatsApp video calling, you have Skype, you have a lot of mediums to do this very easy. Everybody is using WhatsApp, so call, a WhatsApp a WhatsApp video are in the showroom by, having the WhatsApp call. So all these things should be explored. I don't want any consultant to sit in the showroom, wait for the customer anymore to come. You please step out of your comfort zone. Use all possible technological advancements in the world towards meeting this customer and promoting the brand and product that you represent and get success.
Great. So now coming to digitalization, apart from AR and VR and whatever way of connecting with customers, is there any way that we can actually increase our leads presently? Not from the, like, I know from the company side, from the dealership side, we might be doing digital advertisements and all that. Now, apart from that, if a consultant has an initiative from his side, wants to do something more than that.
So the basic strength of a consultant is his contacts. So anybody who has spent in the industry for over 2 years of time would have at least sold 100 cars. So the first thing that he can practice doing is going back to how many of the consultants today are going back to the customers whom they have sold the car to check how is their experience with the brand, how is their experience with the car, and are there any references that they can give over the phone call. So I would say that the consultant should connect back to these customers, ask the customer about his experience and about his excitement about this particular car, and then ask who is the other 2-3 people who will be more close to him, who can also appreciate this car, and then get the references from that customer. So this is the first thing. Means you can ask who is the doctor, family doctor that you go to. Is there any advocate that you are in touch? As a business, everybody has. So these are the professionals who have got the potential to buy. So everybody will have at least 3 to 4, one brother, one friend, one doctor, one neighbor. If we are able to collect these 4 names, okay, and numbers, we can send our EDM, we can get connected with them. Already there is a good customer who can give good feedback about my service, and then he can actually get at least to sell more 4 cars through this one customer. So that is one thing which one must be doing. And mostly if there are any concerns, resolve them by being proactive, by involving the management, by involving the senior level people in the organization. Resolve them so that you will win the customer for lifetime. So then automatically his contacts will become your contacts. This is one thing that consultants can do. And second, whenever there is a delivery happening, what I do is I do delivery process. See, like how a booking is an excitement to the consultant, whereas delivery is an excitement to the customer. Celebrate that moment. Celebrate that moment with a lot of involvement. Speak good about that particular customer, about his achievements in front of your team. And you invite on his behalf to celebrate his success where he is getting the car delivered. So like that you can connect with 3 to 4 other people who are very, very close to this customer who is buying a car. And just do not do this as a formality, do it as an absolute involved, well-wisher for the customer, and then make sure that you win him for the lifetime. Then share the videos, share the pictures of the delivery process, of the entire journey that you had with him, so that the family cherishes this moment and you will be remembered for his lifetime. And you will definitely get some more calls back, referring few more customers. So I think this is what consultant can do meticulously with great involvement, Shrikant.
That's fantastic, Pro Ranga. In fact, team, so this is something really important what Pro Ranga shared. This is a time you need to connect with your customers, your existing customers. So if you have sold, you've been selling for 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, whatever be the number of years, the most important thing is connecting with them. Get their numbers, call them. How are they doing? How is this pandemic? What help do they need during this pandemic? It can be a lot of things. They need a service for their cars. They might need some spare for their car. It can be anything. But this could be an opportunity to connect with them. And probably once you connect with them, you have old nostalgic memories also cherished, and then bring back them to the brand by getting some reference from them. In fact, I'm sure a lot of dealerships today are giving fantastic referral schemes also.
Yes.
Wherein the customer is incentivized for the kind of reference he's given.
Yeah.
But of course, one more thing that probably a lot of us have seen is once the reference is received from the customer, we generally forget to update the customer on the status of the reference or even give back the referral gift.
True.
The referral incentive. So now one of the most important thing that has always worked in the previous, that can even work now, is collecting reference from your existing customers, especially the happy customers, and ensuring that every customer is kept happy. Now, one of the biggest advantage having customer referral is, of course, the kind of support you get from your existing customer to close this new deal. Right, Pro Ranga?
Yes, Shrikant, that's wonderful. See, company does a lot of activities, spending lots of money. Means as a head of the business, I spend almost 10 lakhs per month for generation of leads. But what is most important is going back to those customers to whom the company has sold in last 10, 12 years of its existence, and get their references. That is very, very critical, which is very cost effective, and we'll be doing only good and will multiply the happiness. Okay, from this customer to another customer, it radiates also. It actually makes you strong. It actually makes you popular among the circles of customer, wherein you can build your career through these relationships.
That's fantastic. In fact, a lot of insights shared, a lot of information shared. So is there any other message that you'd like to give to the present team who are working on the field?
Yeah, Shrikant. Okay, I would like to just take the audience through a small story. Okay, so this I heard from one of the leadership gurus. So American Railways MD meets a worker and spends reasonable time during one of his visit to the remote site where this worker is employed for 20 years. All fellow workers gets astonished and asks this worker as to what is so special that the MD of this large company, American Railways, of this size company, has spent time one-to-one with you, talking like friends. The worker then illustrates the background that both of them have joined at a time, but he remained a worker for last 20 years, whereas the other became an MD of this company. So what is difference here is one worked for a daily wage, thinking job is equal to salary, and other has worked for his inner calling to fulfill his passion and his desire and dream to be the revolutionary professional in that particular industry. So the new generation should introspect and see whether they have connect with the cars and auto industry, and only then they should join the train, and not for just earnings, which are pretty decent and high in this industry. The kind of what a consultant can make, many months I cannot make as a CEO. So that is the earning potential in this industry. But I want the people to cherish this experience by bringing in that passion, and just not the money factor, but with the passion, with the interest, with the enthusiasm and love for cars and the industry, for automotive industry. That can bring in a change to make yourself build your career and build the kind of company that you work for to the new heights. So I mean, we should just not consider our jobs as salaries. We should see the growth by fulfilling our passion in the company. Then the sky is the limit for you. There is no limit if you are working for your passion. So I give a message to all the new generation employees in automotive industry to check, introspect, and if your passion meets this industry, sky is the limit. If it is not, just find out what is it that can take you to the next level.
That was fantastic.
Yeah.
So team, I guess all of you loved it. In fact, we're coming to the last part of it, a live Q&A session. So team, get your hands typing. You can type your questions and comments, and we will get answers from Pro Ranga. So Pro Ranga, it was something really amazing. In fact, having you on the show. And we have this last section now, that is wherein our members will ask you a few questions that they have to ask. And then we will end the session. It's already 12, but probably if you don't mind extending it for another 10 minutes.
No, absolutely no problem, Shrikant. It's a pleasure.
Okay. So team, we are ready to take questions. So let me go through the questions one by one. Okay. So here we have a question. It says, how do we increase leads in the present situation?
Yeah, Pro Shrikant, thanks for this question. How do we increase the leads in the present situation, which has been the inherent challenge for every business owner today in automotive industry. So this lead generation is not just a challenge for automotive industry, for many other businesses also. So you can't expect the leads to be as many as you have been getting pre-COVID. You will certainly have a lower number of leads this period. So what we should be doing is how can we get qualitative leads during this time? So you need to have a kind of proper presence in every digital medium, like namely Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Carwale, Cardeko, all these portals we should have subscriptions, and we should try to extract every possible avenue to generate digital leads. So digital leads we should not miss focus. And number two, we are still open with our showrooms. I think the teams are working. So every walk-in customer who is coming into the showroom is a very, very serious buyer. So we should give a 360-degree evaluation of each and every lead, and we should take care of each lead as a project, understanding what is his requirement, how can we make sure that we sell a car to him. And then third, we need to have the teams working towards generating references, because there is already a connected customer who knows about your services, who knows about the strength of your company and the brand. Connecting back with them with some campaign, referral campaign through the consultants who have sold the cars to them can get you more than qualitative leads in these pandemic times.
That's fantastic. Now we have another question from Pro Balachandran. So Balachandran says, what are challenges in digital marketing for commercial vehicle sales? Or how can we go digitally in commercial vehicles right from three-wheeler to trucks?
So I'm not an expert when it comes to Indian commercial industry, Pro Shrikant, but I would like to throw some light on this. So basically, the commercial vehicles are not these are not the buyers who will look at digital mediums to buy the trucks or commercial vehicles. We need to have B2B connect with them. It's a complete business to business. It's a corporate sales team which you need to strengthen in your company, and then ensure that you understand who are those target owners who have got the fleet and who have got the requirement for these commercial vehicles. And it is just relationship that gets you business. Digital presence may not help you 100%. It is required, but the major thing that one must do in commercial vehicles is to have connect with the existing business owners who have requirement of these cars, of these commercial vehicles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Now we go to Yadunandan Katti. Pro Yadunandan Katti has a question. He says, what do you think the scope of training and coaching in luxury car sales? What do you think is the scope for training and coaching in luxury car sales, specifically in challenging times like today?
So most of the companies are utilizing this lockdown period for training and development of the manpower. Okay. In fact, every brand has conducted almost every day video sessions for introducing their product and competition analysis with the teams. So training is very, very important when it comes to luxury segment, because the luxury customers are very knowledgeable. They study completely about the product and the options that are available in the market before they step into your showroom or before they punch their inquiry in your website. So training helps the consultant to quickly understand and handle the objections of customer, clarify the doubts, and then win confidence of customer, which is very, very important. And the training should be in such a way, it is just not to sell a car. We should understand when customer is looking at from the end user perspective. Okay, he is coming inside the car, he is checking whether I am compatible with this car, whether this car suits my requirement or not. And then the same customer will look at technical analysis. Okay, now this car is what suiting me. What other options do I have in the same segment? Then he will look at engine specs, comfort, safety, etc. Then he will get into the commercial evaluation of the car. So the technical evaluation and commercial evaluation, which is value for money for me. So that analysis the customer does. So all these three phases to be passed, training is very, very important. What to speak when he is looking at compatibility, what to speak when he is looking at technical comparison with the competition, how to handle negotiation and objections when he is doing a techno-commercial evaluation of the product. So normally the consultants are just explained about the product, and they will keep demonstrating the product again and again. But coming to objection handling, coming to negotiation, all these things requires to be trained. Okay, people will learn out of their experience, but the freshers, like 1 to 5 years, experienced people, they require ample training to handle these objections, negotiation meetings, and also how to effectively demonstrate for an end user perspective a point of view. Yeah. Yeah.
So that means that even today in this period of pandemic, training and coaching holds a very important role. Am I correct?
Yes, Srikanth. And also now the digital platforms, how to effectively utilize the digital platforms, how to handle the customer's attention while on a virtual meeting, how to explain the car through virtual reality or augmented reality. All this requires training because none of us are experts in this. We need to have hands-on with these gadgets, with these technologies. Only then we will feel confident and utilize these technologies to pass on to customers. Training is important.
So that's great. So probably this is a message to trainers in the auto industry as well, that these are the additional tools that they need to equip themselves with. So probably training people on the latest technologies, on how to, demonstrate technology or use technology to demonstrate the product in front of a customer, or use virtual reality or augmented reality. So all these things are probably new avenues or new training avenues that every trainer.
Yes.
Okay, now we have the next question. So we have this question from Mohammad Sajid. He says, how premium brands like Audi, Mercedes, and BMW will be doing in terms of after sales business in this pandemic times?
So, very good question. So basically, there has been a holiday for 2 months, almost 1.5 months, effective April and May. So there have been almost so many cars which are supposed to be completing their 1 year periodical. They're supposed to be coming for PMS. So probably we should go back to these customers who have missed their service and then get them informed about our COVID protocols being followed, and then we should have the cars called back to the workshop and then service. And we also have to make sure the defumigation process and disinfectant process, everything is carried out on those cars which are coming now. So it's very important that we give the confidence, we assist the customer in contactless delivery, contactless handing over of car, understanding the customer complaints if there are any, or just take the car and do the periodical maintenance and return back safely. So the business is buoyant for after sales post COVID because there is a break of 2 months for after sales facilities to be being shut. So we will probably have a good time, and this is a very peak time for after sales team. The teams are fully occupied. There is double throughput. There is double which we are experiencing in this period since the time we opened up after lockdown.
Okay, so I hope that answers your question, Pro Sajid. So I think we'll not take any more questions right now, but team, I'm sure all of you enjoyed it. So before we leave, I want your feedback to this session immediately in the comment section. That would give some motivation to all of us. Pro Ranga has taken so much time and come to our show to share all these insights. So it would be great to have your comments for you as feedback. And for more questions, if you want to ask more questions, we'll not miss you on that. What you can do is,
it's my pleasure, Srikanth. Most welcome. I think I also enjoyed answering these questions from various participants. And I personally thank you, Srikanth, for choosing me to be the guest for the week. Look forward to more such interviews, more such discussions happening through ARPRO platform. And I'm really inspired with the kind of energy and the kind of innovative measures that you're taking to help the industry professionals in automotive. I think this is one thing which is never before, and you have been taking it as a personal responsibility and making it more reachable to the people of all levels in automotive industry. Thank you so much, Srikanth. Thank you so much, Srikanth. Hats off to your commitment.
Thanks a lot for those wonderful words. It's all encouragement, like people from all of you that keeps ARPRO growing. In fact, that's exactly why ARPRO today is the world's largest network of professionals from the auto industry. We'll have a lot of fantastic sessions coming up. And guys, this is just the start. Now, before we end the session, team, I want you to share this video with all your colleagues in the auto industry. Tag them right now on the comment section. I want to see the maximum number of shares for this. Pro Ranga has given us fantastic information. It's time for us to share this with the people across our network. So team, thanks a lot for joining in. It was one. Pro Ranga, thank you again.
Thank you so much.
So with that, we end the day. Goodbye.
Goodbye.